What is up, guys? I am Aaron, also known as Slightlybraindead. We're here with some Dark Souls Prepare to Die edition. So, you Souls fans out there have no doubt heard that Dark Souls is getting a remaster. It's coming later this year, 2018. And so, I'm really excited for it. And so, in preparation for that, I figured I would start a sort of comprehensive Let's Play of the first Dark Souls. So, first off, because I should admit that this is one of my favorite games, if not my favorite game of all time. I absolutely love Dark Souls to death, and so I want to do this as sort of a last grand playthrough of the game, and also as sort of a gauge to see what's different, what changes with the remaster. So we're gonna be talking lore, we're gonna be talking game mechanics, all sorts of stuff. It's gonna be real fun. So let's get started. And so here we won't worry about our class or gift yet. We'll just make a character. Oh yeah, so not a whole lot of lore on the game to be found here from the character creation menu. Basically, the main points is that Astora royalty, so we know that the land of Astora, because these are all, these different faces are from different lands in the Dark Souls world. So the Astora royalty, Astora, associated with royalty, and then Dragon Scholar. These guys are the Vinheim Dragon School mages. So, interesting to note. It's called a Dragon School, and they teach magic. Firelink, known for clerics. Oh yeah, Earl of Kareem. There's an Earl of this is the first mention of the Earl of Kareem, who's one of the bigger characters in the lore. He's one of the bigger players in Kareem. One of the only one of the big characters we know that is from Kareem. Let's see. Then we got historical Xena. Great Swamp. Yeah, Pyromancers come from the Great Swamp, and then we've got Eastern, so we're just gonna go with that. Let's see, wait, is there any... No, yeah, I didn't think there was anything on the hair. There's a little bit of lore here with, like, the hair colors. I think it starts with, yeah, dark blue. Common in Kareem. Gray is Northern Katarina. Gold is below by numbers of nobility. Astora, perhaps? Nobility, royalty, kind of the same thing. Gray hair, or silver hair, antiquated in these times, because people be undead, they don't get old. And then, let's see, near extinct race, for dark purple hair. So, I guess, if we see anybody with dark purple hair, they are of a near extinct race, maybe. And then red is just a very rare color. Anyways, so for our class here, we are going to be starting with the knight, I think. First off, really good armor to start off with. Really good armor. Even if you are fat rolling, you can just take off some armor and, till you mid roll or even fast roll. But also good sword and a really good shield. And your stats don't really matter for your, whatever you start with, because you can put them out however you want. But, we'll take a quick look at all the different classes here anyways. We got the warrior, pretty, decently spread out strength and dexterity, all around, and then they've got the longsword and the heater shield, which are both, honestly, I would say they're arguably better than the knight's sword and shield, because I like the thrusting strong attack of the longsword better than the broadsword. And the heater shield is basically just as good as the tower kite shield that the knight has, except it's actually a little bit lighter. And it has almost exactly the same stability and defenses, but it's a little bit lighter, so then, you know, it comes in handy. But their armor is actually hot trash. This is some pretty bad armor. It does not have any poise, I think, except for the helmet. Yeah. So then we got our knight. Yeah, got that high HP and good armor. Got our wanderer. He's got the scimitar, leather armor. Pretty good. Got some good dexterity. The thief, one of my favorite classes. Got that bandit's knife, best dagger in the game, if you ask me. And then you've got the target shield and badass black leather armor. Bandit. We got that battle axe. Oh, man, I love the battle axe in this game. Got the spider shield, that's pretty useful. The hunter's got the bow. It's got some. What is the longbow? I don't remember either the longbow or the short bow. Got the dumbass short sword. I hate the short sword. It's just a crappy long sword. We got the sorcerers, got the dagger, sorcerer stuff, the small leather shield, and some soul arrows. We got pyromancer, cleric. Cleric is probably like just if you know what you're doing, cleric is probably the best class to start off in the game with, though, because that mace is fucking strong. It is so strong. And you get 5, you know, it scales all with strength, so you get really good damage bonus for two-handing it. And you got those, you start off with, you know, 5 casts a heal. You know, it's like having 5, you know, extra Estus charges, you know, right there. It's pretty good. Pretty damn good. But we're gonna start with the knight. Just love that armor. Get some good shit. And for our gift, let's see, I don't think, well, always, so, yeah, this is the first mention of humanity, tiny sprite called humanity, sometimes found in carcasses. That's just that's basically all we need, you know, all there is to know about it from a gameplay, standpoint, is that you find humanity on corpses, you know. We will get our binoculars later, so we don't need to start. We could get the trinket, Miyazaki's favorite. Got that master key, tiny being's ring. This item description is a lie. It does not recover HP slowly. It just slightly raises your maximum health. I'm pretty sure that will be fixed in the remastered. It'd be funny if it's not, but pretty sure that'll be fixed. And then Old Witch's Ring, which is gift from a witch. Yeah. Man, should we get that pendant, man? Should we start with that pendant? Gotta get that pendant, man. Well, yeah, you know, yeah, we'll start with the pendant. Or, actually, you know, we could start with the pendant, or, you know, yeah, we'll start with the pendant, man. We gotta get that pendant, man. Gotta get that pendant. It's good. It's good. Actually, I might just want, like, some humanities. You know what? No, it's called Dark Souls. We're gonna start with Dark Souls. We're gonna start with some Dark Souls. Because, honestly, I want the humanities to help with farming, so. And now, let's give our character a name. Oh. There we go. Yeah. Alrighty. Let us begin.
In the age of ancients, the world was unformed, shrouded by fog. A land of grey crags, arch trees, and everlasting dragons. But then there was fire, and with fire came disparity. Heat and cold, life and death, and of course, light and dark. Then from the dark they came and found the souls of lords within the flame. Nito, the first of the dead. The Witch of Izalith and her daughters of Chaos. Gwyn, the Lord of Sunlight, and his faithful knights. And the furtive pygmy, so easily forgotten. With the strength of lords, they challenged the dragons. Gwyn's mighty bullets peeled apart their stone skins. Witches weaved great firestorms. Nito unleashed a miasma of death and disease. And Seath, the Scaleless, betrayed his own, and the dragons were no more. Thus began the Age of Fire. But soon the flames will fade, and only dark will remain. Even now, there are only embers. And man sees not light, but only endless nights. And amongst the living are seen carriers of the accursed Darksign. Yes, indeed. The Darksign brands the undead. And in this land, the undead are corralled and led to the north. Where they are locked away to await the end of the world. This is your fate.
And here we are in the Northern Undead Asylum. And we looking like beef jerky, man. We don't look too good. Looking pretty dang hollowed. And so, there was a knight. I don't think I can angle my camera up to see it. Oh, Right there, yeah. A knight up there. Up on the roof by that little plant. A knight dropped that corpse down into our cell. And on it is this dungeon cell key. So, let's read that first. Dungeon cell key opens dungeon of Undead Asylum in the north. A mysterious knight, without saying a word, shoved a corpse down into the cell, and on its person was this key. Who was this knight, and what was his purpose? There may be no answers, but one must still forge ahead. Yes, there may be no answers indeed. And we got this straight sword. Only slightly better than one's bare hands, and not recommended for extensive use. Be certain to find a replacement quickly. Let you know that this is not a proper weapon that you got in your hands here. And then we have our armor, which doesn't have any lore on it, but this black separation crystal does. This black crystal, long a symbol of farewell, is granted to banished undead. The crystal sends phantoms back to their homes, or sends you back to yours. So, yeah, you get, so if you are a banished undead, an undead banished to the Undead Asylum, you get this, black separation crystal. They give that to you. And then we've also got our humanities here. Rare, tiny, black sprite found on corpses. Very unusual twin humanity. This black sprite is called humanity, but little is known about its true nature. If the soul is the source of all life, then what distinction is left for humanity? So, this is almost the same item description as the regular humanities. That last line, if the soul is the source of all life, then what distinction is left for humanity? What distinguishes the humanity we have within ourselves from other souls? Well, that's what we'll find out. And then we've also got this Darksign, which, as we, as was explained in the opening cinematic, is a brand that is found on the undead. And so we see the dark sign signifies an accursed undead. Those branded with it are reborn after death, but will one day lose their mind and go hollow. Death triggers the dark sign, which returns its bearer to the last bonfire rested at, but at the cost of all humanity and souls. So, the dark sign is... it signifies an accursed undead, and people with the dark sign on them are reborn after death. But they can't just be reborn forever, because as we see in this game, once we... actually, you know what? I think we will demonstrate it. You know what? Actually, no. We're gonna go ahead and pop this right now. We're gonna pop that humanity. So you see that 2 in my, up near my health now. That is my humanity meter. So by popping that, twin humanity, we got that in the meter. So unfortunately, we can't go read the lore again, but now we have 2 humanity. And as we will see, once we die, and I'm sure at some point we're gonna die, we will see that when you die, you lose your humanity. Now, is that because of the dark sign, or is that just the natural order that you lose your humanity upon death, just as your souls? Your souls and your humanity leave your body on death. That I would think is probably just the natural state of this world that happens. But the dark sign brings you back. Well, it brings your body back anyways, not your humanity. And we see this big motherfucker walking back around there. Doesn't see us. Probably good. And we got these developer messages here. Yeah, I am playing offline, so that we're not going to be invaded or, receiving help from other players. So any messages we see are just 100% developer messages. use to give hints to the player. Alrighty. Yeah, and here is our bonfire. So we light the bonfire. And we rest at that bonfire. Yeah. Very nice, very nice. Look around here. I wonder... Oh, well, we can see a fog wall over there. Yeah, fog door. And we can see a door down here that does not open from this side. And we can see this big old door here. And we see a big guy up there. I see you! Come on, gotta get down from there. Come on. Come on, get down. Come on, get down from there. Come on, get down. What are you doing? Alright, let's go. Ooh! He's big. Maybe later, buddy. Alright, so then we'll hit this bonfire here. So... Alright, so we got the Tower Kite shield. There we go. So we got our shield. It's cool water. Yeah. Come on. Ah. Yeah. Get down. Much better. See you later, buddy. Alright, so. Now we're making our way through the asylum here. And now, we made it through that fog wall that we saw earlier. And from here we can see that that big demon is no longer standing up there. Because he dropped down. And so we can get a good look at here. Oh, and we can see some treasure over there. Which is going to draw you that way. But as you can see, the stairs to that treasure are broken and impassable. So that's to let us know that we can come back there from the other side, perhaps. Probably around that side. And now we can see that the boss doors have also closed. You can see our bonfire down there. And in here, we can see a fallen knight. Looks like the guy who helped us get out of our cell. But there's no way in, because the door's blocked. And... Boulder! Oh, there he is. Saw, dude.
Oh, you. You're no hollow. Hmm? Thank goodness. I'm done for, I'm afraid. I'll die soon, then lose my sanity. I wish to ask something of you. You and I are both undead. Hear me out, will you?
Yeah, sure thing, dude.
Regrettably, I have failed in my mission, but perhaps you can keep the torch lit. There is an old saying in my family. Thou who art undead art chosen. In thine exodus from the Undead Asylum, maketh pilgrimage to the land of ancient lords. When thou ringeth the bell of awakening, the fate of the undead thou shalt know. Well, now you know. And I can die with hope in my heart. Oh, one more thing. Here, take this. An Estus flask. An undead favorite. Oh, and this. Now I must bid farewell. I would hate to harm you after death. So go now, and thank you.
Alright, so he gave us another key. So this is the Undead Asylum Floor 2 East Key. Opens East Iron Bars of Undead Asylum Floor 2. The Undead Asylum is a giant undead prison segmented by countless iron bars. Even if an undead were to escape from a cell, passage to the outside world would not be gained easily. Well, I guess we'll see more about what that says. And here, the best item in the game, our Estus Flask. Sweet Sunny D, power of the sun. The undead treasure these dull green flasks. Fill with Estus upon fire, fills HP. The Estus flasks are linked to the Firekeepers. The Dark Tales also make reference. An emerald flask from the Keeper's soul. She lives to protect the flame, and dies to protect it further. Yeah. So, the Dark Tales make reference about how the Estus Flask is linked to Firekeepers, and that it is, the Firekeeper, this is our first mention of Firekeepers, who tend the bonfires, which fill Estus. Estus restores our health, and it also seems to suggest that the Firekeeper dies to protect it further. We will see later that it is strengthened through other Firekeeper souls. And that was the sound of our friend dying in the other room. And now he's gone. So we unlock that gate down there. And then we go over here. And we two-hand our weapon for that two-handed riposte. 179 damage, two-handed riposte. That's good. That is good. Let's see how much we get off our one-handed. Oh, I thought that would be enough to kill him. $162, so a little bit less damage off the one-handed. Pretty sure this only has like C scaling in strength, yeah. So we don't get a whole lot of strength bonus from two-handing it for that two-handed riposte, but it doesn't hurt. 23 on the backstab. And this guy. $54, nice. Alright. Oh, wait a minute, actually. What does it say? Ah, yeah, that's right. I just realized I have not shown you guys the status screen yet, which we can see here. First off, at the top left there, you can see my character's name and covenant, which is the Way of White. Now, normally, you don't start off as a part of any covenants in the game unless you start as the Knight or the Cleric, because they both start off as a part of the Way of the White. And so then we can also see all my different stats here, like my HP, stamina, equip load, my damages from my equipped weapons, all that good stuff. But then over on the far right, on the bottom, we can also see item discovery, and that says 158. So that is normally 100, I believe, is the base item discovery. But it is boosted to 158 because I popped those two humanities earlier. Because humanity boosts your item, having humanities in your meter boosts your item discovery. And so now, we're going to do our plunging attack, and you can see we got a double hit on that. By hitting him like that, that's good. Oh! Missed the timing on my dodge, I was a little too greedy. Oh, that's right, I forget. He always swings back around. You gotta be... Oh. Man. Not used to my fat rolls. There we go. Yeah, see you later. And we got our humanity. And the big pilgrim's key. Oh, and 2,000 souls. Very nice, very nice. There. Let's read that key. Key to the inner door of the Undead Asylum. Big key belonging to a chosen undead pilgrim. But this chosen undead knows not what this pilgrimage has in store. So, we are that chosen undead. That's what because we have this key, essentially. This key that we have in our possession is apparently the thing that signifies us as a chosen undead. But as we're looking out here, there's just this graveyard. We were trying to escape, but all we found is this graveyard out on the cliff. So where in the heck does someone go from here? Also, I think that was our first soul item, wasn't it? Yes, it was. Soul of a Lost Undead. Soul of a Lost Undead who is long ago gone hollow. Souls are the source of all life, and whether undead or even hollow, one continues to seek them. So yeah, the soul is the source of life. Everything that is living has a soul. How are we gonna get out of this Undead Asylum?
Only in the ancient legends it is stated that one day an undead shall be chosen. To leave the Undead Asylum in pilgrimage to the land of the ancient lords. Lordran.
Well, I guess that's one way to leave a completely isolated Undead Asylum. Firelink Shrine. In Lordran, level up and kindle at bonfires. And from here we can see a crow that brought us in here. See a man. See some items all over the place, really. And another bonfire here. This is the rest of this bonfire. And we get 10 Estus because this bonfire is kindled. Yeah, very nice. Very nice indeed. So, what have you got to say to us, my dude?
Well, what do we have here? You must be a new arrival. Let me guess. Fate of the undead, right? Well, you're not the first. But there's no salvation here. You'd have done better to rot in the Undead Asylum. But too late now. Well, since you're here, let me help you out. There are, actually, 2 bells of awakening. One's up above in the Undead Church. The other is far, far below, in the ruins at the base of Blight Town. Ring them both, and something happens. Brilliant, right? Not much to go on, but I have a feeling that won't stop you. So, off you go. It is why you came, isn't it? To this accursed land of the undead?
So, that old legend from the knight's family, so as he said, the fate of the undead, ringeth the bell of awakening, and the fate of the undead thou shalt know. So, there's 2 bells awaken, not just one, but 2 of them. So, already we can see these legends are not all they cracked up to be. And we still don't know what the heck happens when we random off. Well, what else you gotta say?
Ah, your face. You're practically hollow. But who knows? Going hollow could solve quite a bit.
Yeah, we are looking pretty hollow.
What? Restoring your humanity? Well, there are a few ways to go about it. Collect it bit by bit from corpses. Or you can butter up a cleric and get yourself summoned. And the quickest way, although I never do it, is to kill a healthy undead and pillage its humanity. Coveting thy neighbor is only human, after all.
So, now we know the 2 ways of acquiring humanity. Or the 3 ways, rather. Collecting it from corpses is one. Getting summoned, which, according to this guy here, is an art of clerics, apparently. And 3 would be, killing a healthy undead. Or rather, an undead who has their humanity intact, and then stealing that humanity from them.
What are you looking at? Don't try anything clever. You might regret it.
Yeah. We was talking about killing people and stuff.
What? You want to hear more? Oh, that's all we need. Another inquisitive soul. Well, listen carefully then. One of the bells is up above in the undead church, but the lift is broken. You'll have to climb the stairs up the ruins and access the undead burg through the waterway. The other bell is back down below the undead burg, within the plague-infested Blight Town. But I'd die again before I step foot in that cesspool.
I always really liked that last line of dialogue. I'd die again before I step foot in that cesspool.
Bloody hell, what is it now? You ask too many questions. What now? I'm not up for chatting. Leave me alone.
Alright. So, as he explained, normally... Well, first let's pick up some humanity there. Nice. So, normally, to get to the Undead Parish, which is where the first Bell of Awakening is, we would go up this way. Up the lift. But he said it's broken. I don't know how somebody broke it like this, but yeah, it's not here. The lift is not here. So, instead, to access the Undead Burg, you gotta go through the waterway. Well, firstly, we grab our stash of treasure here. All sorts of good stuff. And last one is Lloyd's Talismans, correct? Aw, yeah, Lloyd's Talismans. There we go. And yeah, we'll just throw the horn on there. How's this Morning Star doing? So I could use that. It probably wouldn't do me any better. Yeah. Alright, we're just gonna run from these skeletons, because they are pretty tough for, you know, someone who's, you know, right out of the Undead Asylum, hasn't leveled up, has base gear, so we're not gonna worry about those skeletons. Yeah, but what we will do is we will talk to this guy.
Hello there. I believe we are not acquainted. I am Petrus of Firelink. Have you business with us? If not, I'd prefer to keep a distance, if possible. Hello there. I realize that I have requested that we retain our distance, but I also want you to know that it is not meant in ill will. Here, take this, as a token of peace. No, go ahead. It's for you.
Copper coin. Shiny. Coin made of copper. Its face shows Old Man McLoif, god of medicine and drink. Even coins of great value in the world of men have little value in Lordran, where the accepted currency is souls. Those who dream of returning to the outside world are fond of carrying these around. Well, then I guess if this guy's just giving it to us, I guess he doesn't plan on going to the outside anytime soon, huh? Now also now we know we got a little bit of an idea of some of these deities, some of these gods in the world of Dark Souls. Ah, yes, and we also got our humanity, which, yeah, basically the same. Yeah, if the soul is the source of all life, then what distinguishes the humanity we hold within ourselves? Yeah, so pretty much the same here. We also got some homeward bones now. So we got bone fragment reduced to white ash. Return to the last bonfire used for resting. Bonfires are fueled by bones of the undead. In rare cases, the strong urge of their previous owners to seek bonfires enchants their bones with a homeward instinct. So, this is what I love about a lot of the items in this game. So these homeward bones is literally just a bone of an undead. Like, we just found this undead bone lying around, and because of the sort of enchantment of the undead curse, we could use these bones to draw ourselves back to the bonfire without having to die or trigger our Darksign. So that's pretty cool. We've also got these Lloyd's talismans now. Talisman utilized by Allfather Lloyd's cleric knights to hunt down the undead. Blocks Estus recovery within a limited area. In the outside world, the undead are accursed creatures, and Lloyd's cleric knights are widely praised for their undead hunts. This blessed talisman blocks undead recovery, allowing the knights to fight with impunity. So, outside of Lordran, we see that the Lloyd's cleric knights, as we know that clerics are very much associated with Thorland, and I believe we will find evidence later on to confirm that Allfather Lloyd is from Thorland, is what I'm trying to say. Excuse me, but yeah, and so we know that these are used to block Estus recovery. So these Lloyd's talismans make it so that Estus does not work. You can't use Estus under the effects of the Lloyd's talisman. Let's see, we also got our Morning Star here. Let's see. Hammer with a sharp spike on its pommel, one of the more barbaric cleric weapons. Uniquely, this hammer inflicts thrust damage and causes bleeding. This weapon does not inflict thrust damage, as you see here. It does inflict strike. So, that is wrong. And then we got this talisman. Medium for casting miracles of the gods. And just kind of tells you how to do that. So, now this is also introducing us to miracles, which are basically spells that are basically spells that are used by reciting tales of the gods, and we're going to learn a little bit more about miracles from Petrus here.
Oh my, you again. Oh, I know. How about this? I have to await my companions here anyway. So what if I were to teach you some miracles? Would that please you?
Hell yeah, you know it would, boy.
Very well. Then first, a covenant with the gods.
Dude, you know I'm already part of this covenant, man. I'm already a brother.
Now let me share my miracles. Only their ultimate effectiveness will be determined by your efforts and your faith.
And now we can learn the shrug gesture. The fuck is this, man? And he does sell miracles, except they're all expensive as hell. And he also sells this Thurlin's talisman. Let's see. This talisman is only granted to high-ranking Thurlin's clerics. Has high miracle adjustment, which, thanks to divine protection, is not dependent on faith. Interesting that these talismans are not really reliant on faith, as given to the high-ranking clerics. Also, the mentioning of, the Thurlin's clerics here, and the fact that, as we can see, that those chests, a lot of people call that Petrus's stash. Those chests that we found, the Homeward Bones and
Come again?
Yeah, red eye orbs and stuff. Actually, I didn't even read those. That's right, the cracked red eye orbs. We'll read that in a second. But all that, was all in those chests, and you get it, by going right up here past Petrus and dropping down the hole where the lift would be. And, some of that stuff that we got is, he's even holding, like that spiked mace right there, and the miracle catalyst, or the talisman or whatever, the talisman, that's his stuff that we found in that those chests. So, I've also a bit more of an indication, tying him a bit more heavily to, or rather tying Thorland together a little bit more with Allfather Lloyd, considering. Also, this guy gave us the shrug gesture, and if those chests were his, he had these cracked red eye orbs back there. In online play item, invade another world. Defeat the master of the world you've invaded to acquire humanity. The correct red eye orb allows players to temporarily imitate this ability normally limited to the dark wraiths of Kath. Man, never trust a bull cut. Never trust a bull cut. I'm telling you. This guy, he's got cracked red eye orbs. You're invading people with Petrus. Is that how you is that how you see fit to preserve thine humanity? By invading people, man. We will find more evidence to suggest that Petrus is not a man of honor, despite being a cleric. So despite being a man of faith, he is not a man of honor. We will come to learn. So now here we're going to quickly pick up our items out here. Get our fire bombs. Very nice. Let's see, what else have we got to get? Oh, I know, we gotta go out here. Oh, man. I love this spot right here. This is one of my favorite spots in Dark Souls. See this big gate here. We got an empty chest and the statue. Woman holding child. Yeah. Some people think that this baby here could be Gwyn. Maybe. You know, not particularly easy for us to know, because it just kind of looks like a you know, any old ordinary baby. But, you know, I mean, Lordran is famous as the birthplace of Lord Gwyn. It's the land of the gods. And so, and this is the, you know, the Firelink shrine, the shrine to, the you know, to the linking of the first flame, which is, you know, what Lord Gwyn is famous for doing. Our soul lost on him. And now we are ready to move. Actually, you know what? No, we're not going to go towards the aqueduct yet, because we have to go and go through the cemetery. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, nothing new for us. Nothing new to say to us. That's all right. So we're gonna go through the cemetery then. And we can see a big tree jutting out of the side there. And over here we can see, yeah, that I'm. See, and then we also got this big tree that's. Well, hold on, I wonder if I can. Yeah, you can see a little bit better from here. We got a big tree jutting out of the side of the cliff here at Firelink. We got another tree jutting out over there, and we got another one all the way over there. And we can look down here, and we can see the base of the wall. One of the walls surrounding Lordran. And then down here, we've got a bunch of graves and a cemetery. Man, that does not do anything to these guys. Well, I mean, I guess I can just parry these guys to death, then. Helps when they're not being super aggressive. Oh, dang it. I thought I could backstep fast enough. Alright, come on. Come on. Ah! I got the partial parry. Ah. Oh, man. I missed. Get out of there, man. Let me parry you. Gotcha. Yeah, two-hand riposte helps out a bit. Ugh. Dang. Okay, we are gonna drop some of our stuff so that we can roll. And we'll just do that. Yeah, sure, there we go. Just keep the helmet, give us a little poise. Let's see. Yeah, maybe we should run around this way. We'll try to go this way. Oh no. Oh boy. Ah. Dang it. Okay, here we go. This guy's hitting me, making me mess up my rolls. Almost made it back. There we go. Safe and sound, and we got all of our items down there. So let's take a look at what we hauled back. So firstly, let's see, yeah, there's not really any lore on that. Let's see, this advanced device was built by a famous craftsman of Astoria. Its utility is singular, but applications many. And, okay, yeah, so that doesn't really have any lore other than it was made in Astora, I guess. And we did pick up the Zweihander, however, which I'm pretty sure also doesn't have any lore. Zweihander is held with both hands, which makes sense considering Zwei is German for two, so two-hander. Seems like a no-brainer. Anyways. Alright, so then, I guess that means the last place for us to visit is down below. And here is the very first firekeeper for us to encounter. No response, she cannot speak. Reinforce Estus Flask. Firekeeper soul required to reinforce Estus. So, here we see, yes, the Firekeepers live to tend the flame and die to protect it further. So, their souls are used to strengthen the Estus and make it even more potent. So, then what is Estus? It seems to me like it may be that we're, if it becomes more potent by adding these Firekeeper souls, and these Firekeeper souls are, what fills the Estus, well then it sounds like the Estus is just like a liquefied Firekeeper soul. You're just drinking souls. And that's how it heals us, I guess. Drink the essence of all life. Guess it'll have some healing properties. And we got a lift down here. All these little statues here. Wow. Yeah. Our soul, the nameless soldier. No ruins. Welcome to Spooktown, USA. Guess it ain't so bad if you've already gone hollow, though. Not so bad at all.
Well, this is unusual. You haven't lost your head. And more importantly, you're free. How on earth? Well, I shouldn't pry. I'm Ricky of Vinheim. I was once an established smith. Look at me now. Can you believe it? What is it? Have you? Oh no. Don't worry. I've no intention of escape. It's safe here. Can't bear the thought of going hollow out there. Although, I must admit, I've not much to occupy myself. How about this? I could forge your weapons, albeit with rather minimal tools. I'll show you what made me the best in Vinheim.
Alright, so this is Rickert, and so we can see he can ascend something to, he can basically ascend your weapons to make them magic weapons. But you need a +5 weapon to do that. You can also reinforce our weapons, but we need Titanite shards to do that. Do the same with armor. You can repair our stuff. He will sell us Soul Arrow and Heavy Soul Arrow, as well as a Sorcerer's Catalyst. And, yeah. So, Rickert is the very first smith you can find in the game. So, right there underneath Firelink Shrine, down the lift.
What is it? There's nothing to talk about. We're both cursed, undead. But, what's there really to moan about?
And you see, Rickard does not seem to be too broken up about being imprisoned
Come
here
back soon.
or being undead.
Smithing helps soothe my nerves. Don't let me wither away out of idleness.
He seems to be pretty content just sitting around in there, doing whatever. Yeah. And here. Now lock its door. And out here. Ooh, what's that? Got our S-stock. Let's see here. I suppose I should just have that ones anyways. There we go. Alright. So, this is New Londo. It was original. Well, we won't get into a lot of lore here right now. We are gonna quickly grab a little item to help us out at the start of the game. And that item is right there in front of us. Oh. Well, I was just barely not fast enough. Normally, that is exactly how much time you need in order to grab your item and to get out of there with a homeward bone. But, unfortunately, we perished. But, this is a perfect opportunity to show you, look! The 2's gone. Yeah, so, as you see, we died, and we lost our humanity, as well as our souls. And so it would seem that that is why people go hollow when you die, if you're an undead. That would be why you hollow, because you cannot retain, because you don't retain your humanity when you die. You lose it, and turn into beef jerky like us. Later, we will go into human form, and so you'll see we'll have our skin back, and we won't be looking like, we'll be walking around like, you know, a piece of beef jerky anymore. But then when we die again, you know... Alright, so we are gonna get those souls. We're gonna get those souls back. And in fact, I'm not even so much broken up about the souls as I am more about the humanity. Because as I said, the humanity is going to help out with farming and item drop rates and stuff. So I'm honestly more concerned about that than about the souls at this point. Crap. There we go. Sorry, screwing with my controls there. But we got it. We got our souls, we got our humanity back, and so now we've got all our stuff, and we are ready to make our way on our pilgrimage to the Undead Parish, which is somewhere up there. Across that bridge, yeah, there. Anyways, I think that's going to be all for today. Thanks for joining me for our very first part of the our all-encompassing, comprehensive Dark Souls Prepare to Die edition playthrough. And I hope you guys join me for the next one. And I'll see you later. Peace.